So very excited to be here and to connect you all together. So with that, I want to introduce our co-hosts. So Emerson, you are up first. Can you give us your introduction there?
Yeah, hi, my name's Emerson. I'm at copious_cats on Instagram, and I primarily adventure with my cat Lady, although I have 3 cats and my other 2 cats are also harness trained. They just prefer more quieter places like my dad's house, where Lady can go pretty much anywhere these days. Once she went to Costco, so she's very well traveled. I got the idea to backpack train a couple of years ago when I lived next to a little girl who just said to me one day, "You should go harness train your cat." I mean, she said, like, walk your cat on a leash. And I said, "Oh, wow, that's actually a really good idea. I think I'll try that." And then through Googling, I found Jackson Galaxy and how he had talked about the enrichment and how it was a good idea. So this little girl really did have the right idea. And thanks to her, I am here now and I love exploring with my cat. So that is me. I am Emerson.
Awesome. And Emerson, do you want to share your quick one of your favorite travel cat tips?
Yes. You know, yesterday I went to an event that was helping low-income folks get vaccines and things that they need for their pets. And one of the things that I saw a lot was cats who did not have a carrier or something to put them in. And so we are here learning about backpack training today. And I would say having a safe space for your cat is really vitally important to help make sure they're safe and comfortable and happy when you go places that aren't in your house.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emerson. All right, next up we have Lucy.
Hello. Yeah, I am Lucy Kay and I am British, but I live in Norway. And I initially got Rasputin, who is this beautiful holy Burman here. And I got him just to keep me company in the house. But I never imagined that we would be hiking or skiing together. I just thought he was just going to be a nice little house cat, little lap cat. But yeah, so we got him initially. He's not even 1 yet, and he's quite a big boy. And then we also got, this is Cassie. This is his mother, and she's much smaller. And she has only just started to come on little hikes with us as well. So yeah, that's us.
Awesome. And what is your quick #1 travel cat tip?
Always to have treats in the bag, especially also to keep their harnesses off, even when I take them off the lead, because they're quite good at, following us. But treats really help if they come across some sheep or they get scared or anything when we're out hiking. So a treats bag, a little shake, and then putting it in here in one of these great little compartments always helps to get them back to us when we need.
Awesome. Thanks, Lucy. All right, next up, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. We still have the picture of your partner, Nika, but you're up next. Sorry.
That's no problem at all. Hi, I'm Nika. Let's see if you can see Bowie over here in the background. A little bit. So this is Bowie the Siberian, and he's almost 2 years old. Why we got into taking him outside was basically because when we were going to get him, we knew he was going to be in the apartment, and we wanted to make sure that he had an enriching life outside the apartment as well. We always planned to do harness and leash training, but through one of our Instagram friends, Ziggy and Charlie, we saw that they had backpacks and we got interested in that. Did some research, found a great big backpack because Siberians get pretty big, and it worked out perfectly. He loves it. And then I think the biggest tip I have is to start off early. We started him off as a kitten and just leaving the backpack out for a little bit, getting him used to it, giving him little rides around the house. Food is a huge motivation for Bowie, so that helped a lot as well.
Nice. Thanks so much, Nika. All right, next we have Ryan and Kaylee.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Kaylee.
We are proud parents of Newt and Emu. We're also known as Newt the Adventure Cat on Instagram. We started taking our cats out, well, at least I did. I actually was a dog person before I was a cat person, surprise. But once I got my first cat, I instantly fell in love. I have a really big passion for the environment as well as outdoors. So I really wanted to take my cats outside with me as well to experience that. They are very visual learners, so they like being outside anyway. So yeah, I really wanted to take them out. We also participate in a lot of event cleanups monthly. So I take my cats to clean up outdoor spaces, outdoor like areas for people to enjoy. I would say like a good tip from us would probably be clicker training. You don't necessarily have to go through like the entirety of just clicker training. Just having a clicker while you're hiking outside or just adventuring outside is a great way to realign and refocus your cat. My cats are really keen on the sense of sound. So the moment I click the clicker, they realign and they look at me back again, just so that they know what they're doing and that I'm there and that they're in a safe space as well.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much, guys. And next we have Holly.
What's up? I'm Holly, a travel cat mom on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. This is Meister, and he's 3 years old. We are in California right now, and I started like leash training him when he was about 12 weeks old. So we started pretty young. I was living in LA at the time, and I was like in this little apartment, and you know, he was a baby, so like it was fine, but I noticed that he like was really interested in going outside, and he was like always like meowing at the door and stuff, and that's why I started like leash training him. And yeah, and then we started like going on like road trips, and he would like come with me to the store and to restaurants and stuff, and just like fall asleep in my lap. That's at a restaurant, that picture. And yeah, right now he's attacking my other cat. Okay, so so I think my biggest tip would just be like to go at their pace when you're training them. And because like one thing I wish I knew is like when you're walking a cat, it's nothing like walking a dog, and you're stopped like a lot of the time. And so I wish I had known that before, because I thought I was doing something wrong and I was like getting frustrated. But yeah, just really go at their pace and like don't force them to do anything. And yeah.
Awesome. All right. And last but not least, we have Jenny.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny. My cat is Raja. He's not in the room with me at the moment, but we are American, but we live in Mexico. And Raja is not so much an outdoor adventure cat as he is a more spoiled, luxurious travel cat. So I'm a travel writer, which means I get to go to wonderful places for my job on a regular basis. And when I adopted a cat, I had this dream about the cat being able to travel the world with me. I didn't want to leave him at home. And so I trained him how to wear a harness and ride in his backpack, just to make traveling easier. So he's been on a bunch of different airplanes and trains, and we stay in hotels, and he's a very well-traveled cat. And I'd say one tip probably is we do go outside sometimes, but he gets a little nervous in large open spaces. So if you are, maybe more of a beginner in terms of training your cat to ride in a backpack or be on a leash, start in smaller enclosed outdoor spaces, like a small backyard or a small courtyard. Raja definitely, if he can see the perimeters of the outdoor space, whether it's a wall or a fence, he's immediately at ease and he's much more comfortable exploring, compared to if we go to a park or a beach and it's just complete open area. He gets a little nervous and he's less likely to come out of his backpack and explore. So that's one tip.
Awesome. All right. Well, those are our hosts. So thank you everyone for introducing yourself. Our hosts would love now to just hear from everybody who's in the chat, which we have over 100 people in the chat. So please, everyone, share with us, what's your name? What are your cats' names? And where are you tuning in from? If you want to share also your Instagram or a link to your Instagram, definitely do that as well. But we want to get to know you guys. So give an intro in the chat here. And as we do that, so again, you name your cat's names, how many cats you have, anything like that. We love hearing where people tune in from. We did make this event at a time where hopefully we got some European folks in the audience, folks outside the US. So great. And it looks like, yeah, I'm seeing people from all over already. So as folks introduce themselves, we're also going to take a group photo. So I'm going to unshare my screen here, and I'm going to put us into gallery mode. So as everyone's introducing themselves, and we are recording the event. So we're going to record the event now. So yes, this event is being recorded so we can keep some of these tips for future content creation and that sort of thing. So if for whatever reason you don't want to be part of the recording, you can always turn off your camera. But now is a great time to grab your cat. If you want to try to grab your cat, we know it is not the easiest thing. But if you want to try to grab your cat now, and as you introduce yourselves, and great, we got people from Colombia, from Hungary, all over the US I see so far, Kalamazoo, Colorado, Montreal, lots of Canadian folks in our community. So now, oh, Sweden I see, oh great, and my partner's bringing my cat. Here's my Wolfie. All right, so we're just gonna take, and there's a lot of us here, so we're just gonna, Ami, if you wanna just start doing screenshots, you could start doing that. So everyone just like see how long you can smile with your cat into the camera, or just smile with yourself. Yourself is good enough as well, but just try, see what you can do. Ami's just gonna sit there taking screenshots of, I think there's at least 3 or 4 screens. So just, oop. There's my cat. He's meowing. Andy's a little more shy than Wolfie, so I got my Wolfie here with me. But yeah, just grab your cat, introduce yourself. How's it going, Ami? You got some screenshots? Whoop.
I got 3 more left.
Okay, cool. So yeah, just do your best. Just do your best, just like me. We're doing our best.
Okay, almost done.
Oh, there he goes. Okay.
My master is sleeping under a chair and does not want to be disturbed.
You know what? Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's okay. You can always, just you is good enough as well. But we love. Oh, there goes my cat. Okay. All right. And please continue to introduce yourselves in the chat as well. It's so awesome to see so many cute cats from all over the world. Hi. Oh, and just one reminder, if everyone can keep yourselves muted until we get to the breakout groups during the presentation that Emerson's going to give, that would be great. And Emerson, can you just confirm that you're able to share the slides and share your screen? You should be able to see if it lets you.
No, I cannot. But could you just share your screen?
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I know the order you're going. So you're all good. I will share my screen again. So everyone continue to also chat in the chat during Emerson's presentation. Ask questions. I'll be looking there to ask questions. They're also, so just continue to chat, ask questions. You can share your own experience in the chat as we're going through. Again, we ask that everybody stays on mute until we get to the breakout groups, and also just in general, in the breakout groups when you're not talking to also stay on mute. But we actually and I think Ami's probably got a good amount of screenshots. Yeah. You can keep holding your cats, everyone, but I think we hopefully got a good amount of screenshots. So also just so you guys know, with the breakout groups, again, our goal is to connect you all and and during the breakout groups have another chance for you to ask more questions. Each breakout group will have 1 or 2 co-hosts, so you can ask questions, share some of your favorite tips, and we just ask that again, you stay off of mute when you're not talking. We just encourage everyone to be super kind and not judgmental. We have a lot of different people at all different levels from all over the world, and so we just want this to be a very non-judgy, welcoming space where people can feel safe to ask questions and share their experiences and stories, and just be very welcoming and cool to each other. So just keep that in mind, of course, as we get into those breakout groups. So with that, I'm going to share my screen again, and I am super excited to introduce you guys. Let's see, and I think are you still Spotlight? Let's see, I'm going to pin you. I'm gonna pin you for everyone. Okay, Emerson should be pinned for everyone. Ami, can you confirm that? Does Emerson look pinned? Can everyone see Emerson at the top? Yeah, maybe. Okay, we'll just, yeah? Yes, okay, perfect. Want to make sure Emerson stays at the top. Okay, great. So super excited to welcome Emerson to the stage. Emerson has been super active in the Travel Cat community for a really long time. We love following her adventures, and also just to put it out there too, again, a little bit about Travel Cat. So again, we are a husband and wife co-founded company. We are based and zooming in from Queens, New York, where we also ship out all of our products from our warehouse in Queens. And we have all, a really awesome team of folks who see your content and your reviews and answer your emails. And so we've loved really getting to know people on a deeper level like Emerson through Instagram, through our Travel Cat Club loyalty program, which Ami, if you want to share the link to the Travel Cat Club, if you're not a part of that yet, it's a really great program where you can earn points. You can get to VIP status, which means you get the chance to get products for free, to meowdle them for us. So Travel Cat Club is a super cool program. We get to know folks as well. So I'm excited to hand it off to Emerson, who has tons of experience with her cat in using the backpack, training with the backpack. So she's going to present now for the next 20 minutes or so. Then we'll have Q&A. And then we will have breakouts. So with that, I'm going to kick it off to you, Emerson.
All right, everyone. Hi. Again, my name's Emerson. I'm at copious_cats on Instagram. And today we are here to talk about backpack training. And I know that everybody's here at various levels. We're going to start talking about sort of the very basic from the beginning backpack training. And we'll go from there. So I will do a little short 20-minute little presentation, and then if you have questions at the end, be happy to answer them. And then throughout the chat, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them there as well, and I'll try to read it if I can, but honestly the chat goes pretty fast. So without further ado, so let's talk about backpack training. So before we even get into how to backpack train, let's talk about why you should backpack train in the first place. So backpack training is really for enrichment. It's for the benefit of the cat. It helps keep them active and stimulated. And as a result, they're happy and they're healthy. I think there is a stigma around cat parents who take their cats out, that why do you take your cat out? You're just doing it for you. You're hurting the cat, things like that. And that is just simply not true. I think all of us who take our cats out or want to take out our cats out are doing it for their benefit and their enrichment, and to make sure they have a long, happy life. And Jackson Galaxy said to do it. So, we can do it. All right. So next slide, please. All right. So as someone had said earlier in their tips, cats are definitely not dogs. Training a cat is not like training a dog at all. And comparing the two is comparing like apples and oranges. They require different methods to training, and they have different behaviors outside, inside, et cetera, et cetera. So please try not to compare your cat to your dog, or a cat to any dog in general. As a reminder, cats are not dogs. So next slide. All right, so we got that. So why should we backpack train? So it's a space for your kitty to feel safe. It's a space for them to rest as needed. It's really good in emergency situations, such as if you're coming on the trail and you see an off-leash dog coming towards you, you can quickly pick him up, safely put him in the backpack, get him away from that danger. And it's also really great for necessary travel and other emergencies. For example, I often take my 3 cats to my dad's house, which is a car ride and a ferry ride away. The backpack is really helpful in getting us to those destinations, and it means that I don't have to pay for a cat sitter, and I can, have my cat with me at all times because I'm just that lady. But yes, so you can also take your backpacks, like let's say you had to really get going immediately, get on a plane, your cat would be used to the backpack. You could easily take them to your destination for an emergency. And you would also be able to have your safety and your comfort there with you in the stressful emergency time, which can be extremely helpful. So next slide. Okay, so now you realize, okay, I want a backpack train. I understand why I should backpack train. And so now we have to think about what backpack are we going to choose. So there are a lot of factors to consider when you're thinking about backpack training. And one of the first ones easily is the size of your cat. And how big is your cat going to be? For example, when I started backpack training, Lady was a kitten. She was under 10 pounds. I think she was about 5 pounds at the time. And I wanted a backpack that would grow with her, that she could use, and that would last a long time, regardless of how big she got. So that was one of the reasons that I went with the Fat Cat backpack, was because even though it looked giant on her when we first started, that she would grow into it and it would fit her perfectly. Now I would say she's at least 10 pounds and it fits her perfectly still. And I'm really happy with that. So another thing you want to consider is, what are you going to use your backpack for? If you're like me, you might want a backpack for different scenarios because you're just that person. So I have one backpack, the Fat Cat, which is really good for, for me, I take it in the city. I take it when I'm traveling to my dad's house, things like that. But I like to have a different backpack to go hiking with, because that just makes me feel a little bit better. So you want to consider, what are you going to use it for? And you also want to consider the features, what's important to you. For example, I really like and think it's cool that the Fat Cat has the bubble. It's like a little spaceship. I love that a lot. Some people hate that. They think it's ugly. They don't want it. So it's definitely important to consider features, like, for example, the Navigator. It has a water bladder, which is really great. So when you're hiking, you can put your water bladder in there, stay hydrated, my friends, and go on about your day. So you definitely want to consider those kind of factors when you choose a backpack. Next slide. And I also just wanted to mention that Emily will be doing a product demo of all the different backpacks when we do the breakout session. So if you'd like to see a backpack up close, or you're still not sure which one's right for you, Emily can definitely help you pick that out when we do the breakout sessions. And you can learn more about the Your Cat backpacks. Okay, so you decided what backpack you'd like to buy. You bought it, you waited for it to come in the mail, it made it to your house, you're so excited. Now it's time to get your cat used to the backpack. So how do you do that? Well, there are two main methods to train cats, and one of them is treat training. So like here I have an Innaba Churu treat. This is cat crack to my cats. This is like the best thing on the planet to them. It's kind of like a yogurt puree, I would say, obviously no dairy, but that would be the consistency that it would be. So that is one way, is to use treats. Another way is to do the clicker training that was mentioned before. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is the clicker sound. So the first way is with treats and food motivation. Oftentimes, cats are very, very food motivated. They will do anything for a treat. They'll do anything for food. Cats, at least my cats, tend to be always hungry. So when using treats for food and food motivation to train, what you want to do is make sure that you're getting the behavior you want before you give the treat. So for example, you just got the backpack, you took it out of the box. Now you want your cat to kind of explore it and, okay. So you want your cat to explore the backpack and sort of figure out, you want your cat to explore the backpack, to figure out what the backpack is like. So what you do is, the backpack's out, it comes out, they're sniffing the backpack, they're exploring the backpack. That's exactly what you want. You go ahead, you give the treat, you reward the behavior. You always want to reward your cat for the behavior you're looking for and for good behavior. So that's one way you can do it. Now, sometimes cats might be food motivated, but when it comes to training, they don't like the treats that you have and they won't do it. So sometimes you might need to find a treat that is more high value. And what that means is that's a treat that you're only going to use when you're doing training, and it's an extra special treat to them. So my cats, these churro treats are really extra special to them. And so they will work harder and be more motivated to do things that I'm asking of them because they want a treat like this. Whereas I have here some freeze-dried chicken. They love freeze-dried chicken, but they're probably less motivated to get something done for a piece of chicken than they are this puree treat. Another way to do the training is with clicker training. Clicker training is a great fun thing you can do in addition to treats and food motivated training. Also, sometimes cats just aren't as food motivated, and that's okay too. Clicker training is great. So this clicker here, I just got it from a big box store, pet store for like $2. I'm sure you can get one anywhere. You don't even need one of these. The main thing is that you're using the same sound every time. So you want to do click or something like, and make sure that it's kind of the same sound and the same tone every time. And you want to use the clicker after they do the desired behavior. So let's say you get your cat to get into the backpack, you click, that signifies that they have done exactly what you asked of them. And you also want to make sure that you're always praising your cat. So even if it's not going to be with treats, you can do the click and then do something that they really like. Maybe they really like being pet in a certain spot. Maybe they want a certain toy to play with for a second, or maybe they want to be brushed in a certain way. Just whatever you do, you want to make sure that your cat knows I did good and that I am rewarded for what I did. And if I do this again, I will get rewarded again. So another tip for this is having your backpack out all of the time. Right now, my backpack is on display back on top of the cat tree. It normally does not live there at all. It lives on the floor, so she can easily get into it, and I'm sure she would fall if she got into it right now. But have your backpack out, just leave it somewhere where you frequent, like your living room, your bedroom, somewhere just easily accessible. A good way to get them to really get used to it and get inside is with scents. So let's say you wore a shirt all day, don't throw it in the laundry bin, stick it in your backpack. Make that backpack smell like you. Your cat loves you, wants to smell like you. Cats are very, very scent motivated. And so having it smell like you in your house will signify to them that it is a safe place for them to go. And you can also put their favorite toy in there, maybe some catnip, just something that they really like, and to get them used to it, and so that they have a space to go. So, okay, next one. Okay, so it's really important when you're training your cat that you're taking everything slow. Nothing is a race. I'm out here, my cat has been on a 5-mile hike before. That's not gonna happen the first day you get your backpack. It really is something that took time to build up and to get her stamina and my stamina also up to going up to 5 miles on a trail. So you want to take it slow. You're gonna start with using the backpack around your house. And it can be as simple as letting your cat be in the backpack and making a cup of coffee. And then once your coffee is ready, just letting him out of the backpack. Really simple, just taking a few minutes, letting him know that, hey, this is a cool place to be. It's safe. I'm here, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, and it's a cool place to hang out. So once you've kind of mastered that and you feel like, okay, my cat likes their backpack, they feel safe in their backpack, I'm confident with the backpack, you can start to try other nearby areas. So for me, I live in an apartment building. So what I was able to do is go around in the hallways. That was a good spot for her to keep practicing. That felt a little different, a little bit new, but was still a very safe environment. Because I'm a very anxious cat parent and I did not want to lose her at all. So knowing that she was in the hallways was easy, so that, if for some reason she got loose, where can you go? You can't really go but down the hallway. So that made it easy for her. Also in my apartment building, something that I wasn't able to do at the time because of COVID restrictions, but we have a rooftop deck. So that's like another spot that would be really good. Or even, you know, your backyard or just around the block. And just somewhere simple that you can go home sort of immediately if you notice that your cat really needs to go home like right now. So just a few minutes and then you go back inside. So also it's really important that your cat only has positive associations with the backpack. So you want to avoid places that will stress them out. And so that includes the vet. Most of the time, cats are not happy when they go to the vet. You don't want them to associate backpack with bad place. So definitely when you're choosing somewhere to go for the first time, definitely pick somewhere that will be safe and that's not going to be full of stress. So once I took my cat in the hallways, we felt pretty comfortable. We were ready to start exploring a little bit more. I decided to take her to the local pet store. And I picked the local pet store over a big box store because it's a lot smaller. The staff have more time to be more attentive to you. And at my personal local pet stores, they offer free sample treats. So she would get lots of treats and praise from the staff. And that was really amazing. And it was still a controlled environment. So if anything went wrong, she was still indoors and I could still, you know, get to her immediately. And it also allowed her to interact and meet with new people in a very controlled way. I'm a very anxious cat parent, so I went as slow as possible. And I went from inside my house to inside my apartment building to inside a store. So after that, when I felt like she was really comfortable, and I was really comfortable, then we could move on. So remember, you always want to reward with treats and praise at the end of your training session. And definitely always treats, always praise. So I'd love to hear in the chat where you guys want to take your cats once they're backpack trained, or where's your favorite place to go with your kitty now that they are backpack trained. Yep. Oh, could you go to the previous slide? Yep. Okay. So now you're ready to graduate until outside time. You're ready to start. You want to take them outside. So you want to make sure your kitty is comfortable with the harness and leash at this point. We're focusing on backpack training today. The harness and leash training could be another session that might happen another time, so stay tuned for that. But this is something that is really important as well to make sure that they're safe and so you can get to them easily. So when you pick somewhere outside, what I personally do is I like to check all trails. I live in Washington, so I check the Washington Trail Association as well, and just other local kind of groups that give tips and things about where to go. And when I do that, I make sure I look for areas where pets are allowed. For example, I wanted to go to the Mount Rainier Park recently, and I didn't know that cats weren't allowed. So I'm glad that I looked that up first to know that pets are not allowed in the national park. And another thing is you want to make sure you know what it's like with dogs. Is there an off-leash dog area? Is there leash logs there? It's very important to be conscious of dogs and kind of the pet owners in your community. Unfortunately, I've had some not so great experiences with off-leash dogs, and it's been my experience generally that off-leash dog owners will not leash up or comply when they are in a leashed area and there's a leash law. So it's very important that you are taking care of your cat, you're aware of your surroundings, and you have the ability to get your cat to safety immediately if you need to do that. So once you've chosen your destination, consider bringing a friend with you or a family member. That might make you feel a little less anxious to know that there's someone there who can help you with your cat should you need some extra help or the cat gets away. Easier to get them with two people. Definitely do that. and always, bring supplies. Always have treats on you. I always bring more treats than necessary because you just never know. I personally like these Churu Tube treats. Not only is it a high value treat for my cat, but because it's a wet treat, it can help her stay hydrated out on the trail. Some cats will drink water on the trail. My cat will not. She's not a big water drinker because I raw feed her, so she gets a lot of her water from her raw food and also from her treats. So she doesn't have a lot of incentive to lick any water up. So I definitely use these treats to help her stay hydrated. I also make sure to carry a first aid kit with me. You never know what's going to happen. I carry supplies right now, mainly for myself, Band-Aids, just medicine, things like that. You can carry a first aid kit for cats. I want to do that. I keep saying I'm going to do that, but that's not something that I have done yet. So when you're backpack training and you are outside, so sorry. All right. Yep. Bring your supplies, end your trips with rewards. Make sure praise. I cannot say that enough. Cats want to please you. They need to please you. So make sure that they know that they're being pleased. So now you can go to the next slide. All right. So again, cats are not dogs. They are slower. They sniff things for longer. They need a space to retreat to. Sometimes my cat sees things that I don't even see. I don't know what she's looking at, but she's real focused and she wants to see it. And so oftentimes I spend a lot of time just standing around waiting for her to do what she wants. But the thing is that I remember is that most of this is for her and for her benefit. Yes, hiking benefits me and it helps me stay in shape and feel healthy and happy as well. But when I'm hiking with my cat, it's more so about my cat and her enrichment. So you need to remember, cats are not dogs. When you're out on the trail or at a park, you're definitely going to be a lot slower than the dogs that you see. Although sometimes my cat does get the zoomies when she's real excited and she'll start going. So yes, so it's important to pay attention to your cat's body language. You want to know, your cat, so you know what's normal with your cat and you know what's not normal with your cat. So that's really important to know. Your cat, trust your instincts and what your cat wants to do and what your cat doesn't want to do and what your cat can handle and what your cat can't handle. So you want to watch their body language and you want to watch their cues. So what I did in the beginning was anytime that I saw Lady seem to be a little bit stressed or something just seemed a little bit off, or she was more than curious, it just felt like maybe she might need a break, I would place her into the backpack immediately. And I did that every time to create that association of this is my safe space. I feel overwhelmed, now I feel calm. I am safe in here. No one can get me in here. This is where I can be. So that's really kind of reaffirmed to her as this is my spot. So now Lady is able to self-regulate herself. So personally, I keep my backpack unzipped almost all the time. I have the retractable leash from Your Cat backpack. And what I do is I hold the leash in my hand. I keep it retracted to a certain length so that she's able, if she wants to hop on my shoulder and hop down, or if I think that she needs a break or that, I need to pick her up for whatever reason, I can, easily stick her in the backpack or stick her on my shoulder and she can choose to sit on my shoulder and keep looking around or get in the backpack and take a nap. So definitely now she's very much able to self-regulate. So most of the time my backpack's open. I do close it. When there's a safety issue, like, an off-leash dog, or maybe when we're somewhere like a coffee shop, I probably wouldn't want her roaming around with her long fur all over the coffee shop floor. So I'll close it so she's not roaming around there, but it's good. And so we know that panting and heavy breathing can be a sign of good exercise in a cat, but it can also be a sign of stress. So remember, as I said before, this enrichment is all about your cat, and sometimes they might need to leave before you like. So recently I went on a really hard hike with my cat. I read the trail guide, and honestly, I felt it was a little bit misrepresented about the trail. There was a lot of rocky trail, and it was a really long trail. I think it was like 5 or 6 miles. And it was really hard, but we were doing it. But unfortunately, there were a lot of dogs. There were a lot of dogs who were off leash and who just were not well behaved. And that really was starting to stress my cat out. And so we were basically almost to the trail. At the top, there was going to be a beautiful lake, but I just noticed she was so overwhelmed and that it was just not working out anymore. So even though we were so close to the top and it was so hard to get there and I didn't get to see the lake, I knew that it was best for her if we started to go down the trail and went home. So always remember, your cat's needs, your cat's body language, how they're feeling, and plan accordingly. So I know that that's a trail that I can go back and do again, but I'm not going to bring my cat. So what is your cat's body language telling you? You can learn a lot from your cat's tail and their ears and their eyes. So like, for example, with a cat's eyes, when you see that they're really dilated, sometimes that can mean that your cat's really stressed out, or perhaps they're really focused on something like a bird or things like that. If your cat's pupils are like little tiny slits, it means they're comfortable, they're happy, they're relaxed, they're just chilling. So if you see a straight up tail, that generally means your cat's friendly, they're happy, they're confident, they're living life to their fullest. You can see if the tail is between them, they might be feeling submissive, kind of confused, straight out tail, lying down with the arms out, you're pretty relaxed. If you kind of get that scaredy cat look, they might be frightened, but also they might be kind of aggressive. So for example, when my cat's in that position on the trail or out and about, it's usually because she sees something like a bird or a rodent or a bug, and she's kind of in that hunting mode, and her tail will start to swish back and forth. When the tail is very swishy, they're kind of, they're thinking, they're inquisitive, they're looking around. And so recently I was somewhere with my cat, we were walking on a low bridge, and she went into that mode of, stalking. And I was like, what is she looking at? And I didn't realize it, but there were like field mice all over the place. And I wouldn't have noticed if it weren't for her kind of being like, oh, here's my prey drive. So, you can learn a lot from the tail, and you can learn a lot from their eye movement, their pupils, and also their ears. If they're like forward, you're pretty happy, ears back. They would maybe not be too happy. So yes, so as we kind of round about here, the backpack is really an integral tool to have in an adventure cat. So it'll keep your cat safe in times where it might be dangerous to have them walking or just in your arms. For example, I've had issues, like I said, with off-leash dogs. Just picking my cat up would not be enough to stop a dog from kind of attacking my cat or me or being too jumpy, etc. When they're in the backpack, they're safe, they're out of the way. And it also gives them a chance to rest, to be comfortable, and when they need a break. Sometimes I wish I had the luxury of being in a backpack on the trail, but I don't, but my cat does, and she can take a rest and she can nap when she needs to. And it also can help you go to places that you might not have thought to take your cat, or you might think, oh, a cat shouldn't go there. For example, one time I took my cat to Costco, which doesn't seem like a place to take your cat, but I had just gone on a hike with her and I needed to get gas, and I usually try and go to Costco. And while getting gas, I realized that I needed to do some shopping inside. So I stuck her in her backpack and I brought her inside. No one said anything to me. She was in the backpack the whole time. She wasn't getting her hair on any food or anything. And she just kind of sat there and, was happy as a clam. And, being someone who was shopping alone, it was kind of nice to have a companion with me while shopping. Another place that we went recently was a restaurant. This restaurant did allow pets and for outdoor seating. Unfortunately, it was a really busy day with this restaurant. They didn't have any outdoor seating, but I was able to keep Lady in her backpack, zipped up, stuck her on the chair next to me, and she slept the whole time we were eating. She had no idea anything was going on. You know, it allowed her to be in a space where, you know, you probably wouldn't want a cat, but technically it's okay if she's there because she's not out and about and getting hair everywhere. And it also helps you with door dashing from eager cats who want to adventure all the time and they don't understand that you have a work schedule or a life outside your cat and need to leave without them. So when you take your cat out, it's really important. You can take your cat only in the backpack. So my cat Lady, whenever we're leaving somewhere, it's always in the backpack. When we're coming home, it's always in the backpack. So you know, if you want to go outside and you want to do an adventure, it has to be in the backpack and only the backpack. And so this helps her so she does not DoorDash and, you know, try and leave when she's not supposed to. And remember, it's really important to be patient with your cat. Pay attention to their body language. And as I said, always, always, always reward and praise them for good behavior. That is where you're gonna do the most good. It's just reward, reward, praise. And remember, every cat is different. And so what works for one cat in a training method or what one cat you did on Instagram that you saw, it might not work for your cat, or your cat might hate that. And that is totally okay. Just remember, this is about you, your cat, your relationship with your cat, your bond with your cat, and making sure that your cat has the most fulfilling and enriched life that they can. So trust your instincts, and remember, don't forget, this is all fun. So don't beat yourself up too hard. Make it fun. Make it a cool thing. You know, you're awesome. Your cat is awesome, and you can do it.